morning. Tuesday morning already. I'm sure some of you have already stepped outside or at least opened up the curtains and looked at it. I'm glaring into that sun. It's a magic day. It's a beautiful day. So what are we up for this morning? This morning is a really quick class. This morning is what I've called a short but sweet class. Just because a class is short doesn't mean that you don't get much done. So what we're going to do is become really quite time efficient. You may need some blocks and a bolster just to sit on, but we will start with some sitting pranayama. We'll move really quickly into some basic warm-ups, and then we'll start to get into a flow. 30 minutes. So I like the idea of this. Someone mentioned to me, could we do a little short burst class? Because they often just want to do a little bit of a half an hour thing and nothing too long, but still want to do some yoga practice. And what would I do if that was the case? So I'm going to do a couple of these over the course of the weeks. And in the topic section, I'll put it into maybe something like short but sweet might be the topic, or if it fits that long, or it'll at least have the word short in it. So when you're ready, come and sit at the mat in our seated pranayama position. Legs can be crossed or legs can be out to the side. I can see some of you guys that are rolling on, so you can always jump in part way through pranayama, that's for sure. And as the legs sit crossed and the hands rest into the lap, just soften the head downwards towards the lap here. Hands can either be in the lap or certainly on the knees, as long as those shoulders feel soft. I'm going to try a new breathing technique today. It requires a little bit of, connection into the core. We'll inhale as we would normally through the nose, and exhale through the nose. It's always beautiful to come in and connect with the breath, even though being first thing in the morning, we're probably not too sort of stimulated or agitated, but it's always just a beautiful, friendly reminder how settling and how grounding the breath can be for us. As soon as we come back and connect into it, that association comes flooding back to us, particularly if you've been working through the meditation practices. You might like to lengthen the breath anywhere from here, if that feels comfortable for you. But perhaps just taking this opportunity to subtly move out of the short, shallow breathing. Be mindful that we're breathing into the full capacity of the lungs. Imagine now, so here's where we'll do a slight change to the breathing. Imagine now we can be more mindful of the breath, filling the front, obviously, of the rib cage, but can we do some side rib breathing, imagining the lungs subtly pressing through the front rib cage, but also the side rib cage. When you exhale, see if you can create a little more tone to the belly. What I mean by that is just that very gentle drawing back of the navel into the spine. When we breathe in, we can let that go initially, feeling the expansiveness come into the front and side and back bodies as well. So that means ribs, side ribs, back of rib cage. Letting go with that tone, that subtle drawing in of the navel to spine. Do two more this way. And on the next few inhalations, try to keep the tone. Don't let the belly soften, so inhale, keep the tone into the belly. Exhale, do the same. Keep Keep that subtle drawing in the navel to spine. Try 2 more this way. This is just to start to get that engagement of the core. And relatively early on there will be balance poses via the legs. There's some plank. So they're all asking the little powerhouse to work early on. So here we go. Started off right in the beginning of pranayama. When we finish that very last exhalation, what we can do is very gently and softly allow the eyes just to open and keep the gaze soft and down low. We can remove the bolsters straight away. We'll move to all fours, cat-cow. Allow the hands to sit underneath the shoulders, stack them, knees under hips. Relax that neck. And in your own time, cat will be on our exhale, cow will be on your inhale, just rolling through that spine in your own breathing. Starting to get that gentle sort of unwinding and moving in the spine. You might even play around with this a little bit if you wanted to. You could roll back and roll forward. Again, just be a little more playful with it. And really know that what you're trying to achieve is just to start to get a bit of an awakening to the spine. It doesn't feel so caught up and restricted. And that will just allow a bit more freedom and space. Yeah. And then when you're finished, whatever sort of ranges that you might work through, just allow the back to go into that sort of soft tabletop. We'll reach the right leg straight back behind us here. Find yourself in a bit of a calf stretch. So quite a strong stretch, this heel pressed back. And really sort of dig that heel back towards the back end of our mat and feel a really obvious release there in the back of the calf. That same right leg will lift up now. When you're ready, we'll pull the knee into the forehead. So now we're thinking the active version of cat-cow. The curling of the exhale and the inhale, the releasing and lengthening of the leg. Taking it again, exhale, pull and draw in. Inhale, come back out. The arms feel like they are ready to support you a little bit more. Maybe in between each one there's this little micro push up again, at your own discretion. Here, exhale. Perfect, let's take one more. A little bit of upper body and lower body. Place that right leg back onto the floor, toes of the tail. Sorry, I should say toes tucked under. I'm going to leave it here just for one moment. Make a little change with this one. I'm going to try and do almost like I call it a knee hover. Press through the balls of the right foot and hover the left knee above the floor. See if we can hold it here for 4, 3, 2. Pull deeper into that belly. And 1. Perfect. Find the other side. Stretch out the calf first of all. Press back through the heel. Awaken the back of the leg. And then off we go. Leg high, hip height. Pull the knee into the forehead. Let your breath out. And breathe it in. Good, good. Nice. A little bit stronger than cat-cow, so if it's too strong for you, you know, we started off in cat-cow, that's exactly where we could stay. We've still got that option of taking a little push up in between if those triceps are ready for some work. Good. One more. straight back down to the floor. That ball presses under that, our leverage to be able to press through it and to lift and hover the right leg up and off the floor. So again, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Let's leave it as it is. Allow the left leg to lift and elevate, and take the opposite arm here. So in this instance, it's going to be our right arm with our left leg. See if we can work again, pulling back up into that belly. We talked about the tone of the belly right at the start of class. And maybe we can do that active cat-cow version here, pulling the elbow in and the leg in. Good. Take another 2 here. And last one. Good, hold it. And keep that absolute stillness, lifting the left armpit away from the floor. And hand and knee back to match. Right on the other side. Right leg long. Left arm long. And take that action again, pulling in and releasing out. Pulling in. Releasing out in a way. So trying to keep that trunk nice and still, but the arm and the leg is what's working here. 2, we'll hold our last one out there. Again, pulling a little deeper into the belly, we're not relying on this right wrist, and holding for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Both hands back onto the floor. Put my mat on an angle. When you're ready, let's go find down facing dog here, up and back into these legs. Take your time, unfold gradually. We've done that calf stretch, but now it's a little more obvious into those hamstrings. So be mindful here. Think jam jar turning when we hear on these hands. I've talked about that the last few weeks, where the hands turn inwards and then the upper arms tuck in as well. So my armpits are tucking down towards the floor, they're wrapping down to the floor, and my hands are turning and spinning inwards. This allows the shoulders to plug really beautifully into the shoulder sockets of the femur, the humerus, into the shoulder socket, so that there's a really snug. Heels anchored down to the floor as sit bones elevate. Let's go tiptoes in, a little gentle heel press down. Good, tiptoes, heel press down. Good, tiptoe, heel press down. Awesome. Go one more on each of the legs. And leave each heel equally weighting down towards the floor. We'll take the left leg to lead back behind. Into the chest, look forward, step into low lunge here. Low lunge means my hips are a little lower than my knee. I'm pressing back through the heel. And at the same time, my left knee is reaching forward as when my right heel pulls back. My hands are here, either on blocks perhaps, or framing the front foot. Moving into crescent of the moon, drop that back right heel. This time pull the right hip a little deeper forward. Bring the left hand onto the left thigh, raise the right arm up. If you can, take the left arm up. And bring the right hand around onto the back of that right thigh and find that dancing version of this. So I'm walking over that back right shoulder now. Frame that front foot with those 2 hands. Hinge back for me as you pull into Hanuman. Again, a little bit deeper into that calf and into the hamstrings. Again, feel free to pull in blocks or go into these little mangrove fingers here so that we don't try and force or load down here. Notice as this left heel is pulling back, my left hip's drawing back. Spine remains straight and I lead with my heart, with that chest here. Stay with this same left leg. We're going to cross the ankle at the knee without taking the mat with you. Some people might leave it here. You're going to know this simply as our figure 4 or ankle at knee stretch that we do lying on our backs. You could go a little bit further and sit down into the heel. Again, not always possible for ankles or knee people.
But here's another beautiful option, folding and coming through the front. So there's your hip stretch over there on this left leg, this left side. Breathing in as we lift up, walk the hands back onto the mat, tuck toes under on that back right leg, and we've found that down dog pose again. From here, the hands should be in the right position, their shoulder width, feet hip distance. We should be able to transition without making any movement into plank. Okay, so stacking wrists and shoulders. Stay with the left leg, lift it. Bring the knee in towards the forehead, tuck it in like we did active cat. Release the leg out. Stay with this same left leg, bring it across to your right elbow. Send it back, find the left elbow. Send it back. Back to knee to wrists for that swish as though you're sweeping your mat. And let's go one last one before finding down dog to rest it out here. You can just collecting the breath here. Hands spiraling in, the upper arms tucking in and down towards the floor, heavy heels. We'll find that same sequence on our right hand side. Lift the leg, inhale. Good, into the chest, step softly through to the front part, low lunge. Drive back through your left heel. And perhaps reaching that right knee a little more forward. So remember, it's that nice drop of the hip that gives us that gorgeous stretch there in the hip flexor. So this is almost like a preliminary to when we're ready, crescent, whereby we can drop the hips even lower, pull the left thigh more forward, bringing our right hand onto our right thigh and extending the left arm up, or just resting the arm. If we want the two arms, then our right arm's going to stay up whilst our left arm swings around. We find that dancing version here. Breathe out, release the hands back to frame this front foot, hinge back into our hamstring stretch, pulling back the toe, and allow that right hip to draw back towards the end of our mat. And as we take the ankle, when you're ready onto the knee, we are ready to find either this as a simple hip opener, or go that next stage and draw down. That intention of keeping the knee down or pulling, at least pulling back, dropping the chest a little closer, so either way we've got chest heading deeper in towards that thigh. And now both hips have had the opportunity to open, stretch and to release. Lift the chest as we walk the hands, also just pressing up. Hands go forward, this foot will go easily back into down facing dog. Check those hands are back, shoulder width. Mine might be a little close to me, because I know when I find plank, I don't want to muck around. So I want shoulders over wrists with that right foot lifting, knee to forehead. Breathe in, send it back. It would be then to the same elbow, back to the opposite elbow. And then that sweeping of the floor. Off we go. 4, 3, 2, and back into down facing dog. Go back, walk those legs out here. Up and down. As both heels equally anchor down to the floor, lead back again with our left leg. Knee to chest go through. This time we're coming into a lunge. Warrior 1, we need to lift up now. It's a little higher than before. Allow the hips to sit in line with the knee. Draw back again through the heel. And reach forward with the left knee now. So a little bit of power, a little bit of work going on into these legs. Allow the right hand to come down to the floor. Our left arm will stay up here towards the ceiling, reaching it high. Look at it if it feels comfy, otherwise keep this gaze down here. Down at this left foot. And keep pressing through the feet. That's what gives us our power here as we ground down through the heels. Here's your reverse warrior 2 now. This can change into dancing warrior on your breath in. Tip it back just like you did in your crescent. This is all just a little higher up now. Bring the left arm around. You'll sit into lunge warrior number 1 one more time. As the hands come to the heart center, soften into the back knee. We're going to step here, right to this front leg. Bring the two heels together. Here we sit into easy chair. So I'm going to wriggle that bum down. As though our bum's in towards our heels. We've got weight in the heels, which means toes can come up. Squeeze the legs together, squeeze the palms together. Our elbows are shoulder high, wrist height. Higher arms if it feels comfortable on those shoulders. Keep the legs gluing together. This is called power chair. We just tip over so my back and now is more parallel towards the ceiling. Still got weight in those heels. Good, breathe out, hands go back onto the floor, step back into down dog. Awesome. Again, we've got plank. Breathe out to knees. And just like we did in our active cat-cow, now push up, straight down and straight up. Returning back into down dog with our right leg leading us. Knee to chest. Step through to that same lunge, warrior one, press down through the feet, rise up. Allow the right hand to stay there. And the left hand comes down to the floor. Again, we can spread the fingers and look up to them. And as we come out of this one, press back down through this right foot. Spiral those arms up. Here we go. We get to tip it back as well. Hand in that back leg. Stand the top left arm. Back to lunge warrior one. Leave the left arm up there. Round we come. It's all about that balance. That's why that little breath work started at the beginning. Good, very slowly, hands to heart. Just keep your eyes really still engaged. Keep that gaze still. That's going to help with balance. Soften into the back left knee. Get ready for that power push off for easy chair. Here we sit. Good. So remember, it's okay that this butt sticks out. It's meant to. So this is not easy chair. That's easy chair. It's like I was in the gym and I'm doing squats. It's the same story. High arms. And then that power version. I'm still sitting back on my heels, but now my back is flat. Frame the foot. Right leg steps us back into plank. Breathe in knees. Breathe out chin. Breathe in as we step. Press back and into down dog. Lead again with the left leg. Up she goes. Knee to chest. Look at those hands. Step through. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, bring the hands to heart. We're going to have to grab this knee as we pull it through. So soften into the right knee. Balance on the left. Grab the right. Good. Lift and lengthen. Hook this right leg over the left. You know it as eagle pose. From face you. We could tap here on the floor. Arms will do the same. Let's wrap them and lift them. And use it to widen and separate the shoulder blades. I'm going to take little eagle crunches. Breathe out. Here's where that gaze is super important. Here's where that belly is really important. Here's your breath out. Breath in, lift up. And breathe out lower. And breathe in, lift up. One more, breathe out. Good, and swing back around. Stay down. Release the hands. Leg goes out the back. Good. Stay with that balance. You've got warrior 3 there now. Good. Bend into the knee. Let's step it on back. Give those legs a little walk out. I know they're going to be a little tired. Walk them out. We're going to do the other side. Good. Release the right leg back. Knee. Then we're going to step it through. So knee in, step, drive through that right foot, hands to press. Soften into the left knee. Get ready for the power push. Balance, grab, hug, hold. Good. Get that length here. It's like when you're lying on your back. You've got that knee to chest. Okay, off we go. Wrap. Again, don't worry if you can't get that second little loop. Give me the tap on the floor. Left arm wraps around right. Elevate the arms, widen the shoulder blades. Crunch on the exhale. Open up on the inhale. Then breathe it out. And breathe it in. Last one around. Here's where we hold it. We unwrap it. We release it. Awesome. Arms go out back. Good. Here's where we get to step it back. And we walk it out. Good. Allow both heels to equally weight down towards the floor. We have one plank here. Engage the core. Soften the knees down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Our left hand turns in to the center of the mat. Thread the needle. Off we go. Out to that side. Glue the hand down. And find that left shoulder pulling back towards that, the left edge of your mat. Just open up the back. So you start to wind it down a little. Release and try the same on the second side. Right, thread it and draw it back. Breathe in, release the two hands. Cross at the ankles, out the back. Come and sit cross-legged, come on faces. Take the arms upwards towards the ceiling. And grab hold of the tip of the two elbows. Breathe out, lean to your left. Take a grip onto the right tip elbow and bring it with you. Release the left hand back down to the floor, then reach the right arm longer. Bring that right hand onto the left knee. Lift up. Left hand comes around and find a gentle spiral in the spine. Breathe in, unravel. Off to elbows again. This time we'll be holding onto the tip of the left elbow as we tip out to our right. Hand to the floor. Reach a little longer. Because we've got this hand on the floor, it gives us the greater leverage, so we're not going to tip up off our left side. Then it comes to the knee. We lift and we spiral. Breathe in, come back to the center. Sit here, hands either into the lap or onto the knees, or bring your bolster or a little tiny cushion perhaps in. Allow the mind to reconnect back in with your breathing. Nice and slow, nice and smooth. Just steady and even. Just listening to the stillness, the quietness. If you can hear any beautiful sounds from nature, enjoy them. Be grateful for them. Start to notice on that exhalation its effects. And that softness just seep through the body as you exhale. The idea of the body just dissolving any thoughts or feelings or sensations that it doesn't need. It doesn't need to carry with it today. That's what our exhalation is there for, to let go of, to shed. Take a moment now, start to find an opportunity to bring your awareness back here to the room and in that knowingness of us stepping forward and into the world in front of us. And ever so softly just start to allow the eyes to just gently open, softly adjust. And the gaze is always very, very soft. It's not wide and bright. Kind to yourself. And come and meet with the hands at the heart center. The thumbs rest here at the heart. And we always seal our practice, acknowledging in both of us with love and with light, with gratitude. Let's finish today's class with Namaste. Namaste. Wow, 30 minutes. I might have gone a little bit over, but that's because I chatted to you at the beginning. Hope you had an awesome 30 minutes of class. A little bit of a flow, nice energetic way to start the day, but it's a great thing to do even in the middle of the day if you want a little bit of a pick me up. So there's your yoga for today. Have a beautiful Tuesday. It is gorgeous out there. Enjoy the sunshine, lots of vitamin D, builds immunity, helps keep all those little cells busy and active and alive. And yoga-wise, I get to see you Wednesday night for a year now, very last yin class. It's the last Wednesday of April. And as mentioned, April was in, May will be a roll and release. And I know you guys tell me how much you love it, and I don't blame you, but it's a great one that you could even do. I know some people might still have a little bit of school holidays left, so it's also a good thing. Or even if you were homeschooling maybe for the first 2 weeks, who's to know? This is really great. No yoga experience required. Have an awesome Tuesday. Best day ever, as always, and see you soon.